A weekend filled with actions and intrigues when it comes to the world of sport, with some counting their losses, others celebrating after picking various wins, and of course in different sports. Good afternoon and welcome to In the Game. I'm Favour Itua. Don't forget you can be part of the conversation via our social media platform, via X. Of course, follow the conversation and also contribute to what we have in store for you. As usual, I would begin with our top 5 stories making headlines in the world of sport. Lots of things happening at the moment. I will go straight to Tanzania, where, of course, they are preparing towards hosting the African competitions in 2027. And what the news coming out says that with less than 3 years to the 2027 African Cup of Nations, the Tanzania government have revealed the amount of cash that will be spent on the stadium construction. Now, 3 countries will stage the biennial competition for the first time, with Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya coming up to host the continent. The government in Tanzania on Sunday afternoon announced 286 billion Tanzanian shillings, that's approximately 124 million US dollars, as the cost of the new stadium. It will be named after Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan, and the stadium will have a capacity of 30,000 spectators. I mean, interesting time ahead, towards that particular Nations Cup. Don't forget, we're having 3 countries host the Nations Cup in 2027, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. And for the angle of Tanzania, they are preparing to build one of the most fascinating stadia, come 2027. Wait to see how much of the monies will be spent and how much of edifice, of course, we'll see come 2027. Away from there, still talking football, but this time around in Europe, where Fenerbahce players walked off the pitch after 1 minute of Sunday's Turkish Super Cup match against Galatasaray, forcing the game to be abandoned and conceding the trophy. Fenerbahce, who fielded their under-19 team, withdrew from the rearranged match in Şanlıurfa, about 1,000 kilometers from Istanbul, after Galatasaray's Argentine striker Marco Baricadi scored. According to reports from the club had requested the game be postponed ahead of the Europa Conference League quarterfinal first leg at Olympiacos Piraeus on Thursday, but were turned down. Fenerbahce president Yildirim Ali Koç spoke of a rebellion in a statement on the club's website, where he detailed alleged injustice going back over the years. According to him, he says it is time for a reset for Turkish football. Meanwhile, the Turkish Super Cup was scheduled to be played in Saudi Arabia's capital, Riyadh, in December, but was postponed. I mean, at the times, the Turkish football really calls for lots of attention. Having to see Fenerbahce field their under-19 team against Galatasaray, that's some form of disrespect when you look at the magnitude of game at hand. But also, they are saying that they are told the FA of Turkish football that they want the game postponed because of the Europa Cup game this week. But then you also ask yourself, Sunday till Thursday, it's a lot of time. I mean, we get to see, even in the Premier League, in Spanish La Liga, games played the weekend and then go ahead to play the cup games. But for them, they felt they needed more time to prepare for that game, and they decided to take laws into their hands. So wait for the coming days to see what the Turkish football will do to Fenerbahce. Away from there now to our next top story. This time around, we're talking about the Commonwealth Games, where we heard that the Commonwealth Games Federation says it is considering multiple proposals to host the event in 2026 amid continued uncertainty over its long-term future. Last week, Singapore joined Malaysia in rolling out a bid after the Australian state of Victoria withdrew as the original host in July because of rising costs. However, in its first public statement since the news, the CGF said significant progress has been made, and it was excited by the early concepts which aim to reset and reframe the games. It claimed it was working with a number of Commonwealth Games Associations over further detailed assessment with an aim to announce a host in May. It did not identify which countries were involved, saying the CGAs had asked to keep the proposals confidential. All right, interesting times ahead. We of course saw how it all went down the last Commonwealth Games, and now we're hearing that more countries or states have decided to throw in their bids since the withdrawal of Victoria as, of course, one of the states in Australia. Wait to see, of course, which of the states or countries will be given the Commonwealth Games hosting right, and we'll get to know that in the month of May 2024. Still talking other sports away from football. Let's now go straight to athletics, where Italian firm Mondo will supply this year's Summer Paris Olympics with a custom purple track, which could be the fastest yet for athletes hunting the biggest prize in sport. Now, based in the sleepy Piedmont town of Alba, which is immersed in vineyards, where the grapes for the world-famous Barolo wine ripened in the sun, Mondo first made the track for the 1976 Montreal Olympics. Now for Paris, its 13th Olympics, it has devised the Mondo Track EB that will host 46 of 48 athletics events of the Games at the Stade de France. Now the biggest stars in athletics, such as reigning women's world 100-meter champion Sha'Carri Richardson, will strive for Olympic glory on its surface. Mondo claimed the track delivers better performance than the one used at the COVID-delayed 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where 3 world records were broken, including the men's and women's 400-meter hurdles, marks set by Kirsten Warholm and Sydney McLaughlin-Levron, respectively. Interesting times ahead. I mean, you get to see lots of innovations in the world of sport at this time around when it comes to the world of athletics in Paris. That's, of course, the 2024 Olympics. We get to see a different kind of track with the color being purple, and the organizers are saying that we're going to have more and more improved performance when the athletes step on the track to run. I wonder what it will do to the spikes of these athletes, if it's going to motivate them, but that's what we're hearing. I'll wait to see when these athletes grace the track. And to wrap up our top 5 stories, we'll go straight to the world of golf, where world number 1 Lenny Koda sealed her 4th consecutive tournament victory on Sunday, producing a dominant performance to defeat Ireland's Leona Maguire 4-3 at the PLPGA match played in Las Vegas. The former American star was always in control in perfect conditions at Shadow Creek Golf Course, building an early lead to go 4 up through 7 holes. Although Maguire pulled a hold back at the night, Koda had kept the pressure up with a par at the 10th while Maguire made a bogey 5. Another birdie at the 12th left Koda cruising at 5 up with 6 to play. There was a brief wobble by Koda as Maguire rattled in birdies at the 13th and 14th to cut the Americans' lead for 3 up with 4 to play. But Koda sealed victory on the par 4 15th with a birdie to clinch a 4 and a 3 win.
Hi guys, Nelly Corda here. Just won the T-Mobile Match Play presented by MGM Rewards. 4 in a row. Crazy, but thank you so much for the support.
All right, congratulations to Koda. That wraps it up on our top 5 stories. We go on a quick break, and when we come back, In the Game continues. All right, welcome back. You're still watching In the Game, and Favour Itua. Let's now go straight to the world of tennis, and where, of course, the ATP Marrakech, it was Matteo Berrettini who got the better of Roberto Caballes Baena 7-5, 6-2 to get the toughest title in almost 2 years.
Left himself a little open, he knows it too. Dropped in, has it? It has. That is phenomenal from there.
Tough last, I don't know, couple of years, I would say. And thanks to them also, I was able to overcome all the tough moments. My body wasn't allowing me to play. So thanks to these guys and the ones back home, I'm here. Thanks to my family that are watching.
Congratulations to Matteo Berrettini for achieving that first title in 2 years, and that's something to celebrate. Away from tennis now to the round letter game of football. We talk about, of course, our own Rivers United, a club side in Nigeria based in Rivers State. The only representative before now on the continent of Africa. They lost 2-0 against USM Alger right there in Algeria. It finished 2-0 and on aggregate 2-1. Now, Malian striker Abdullah Kanu's brace secured the crucial win, propelling USM Alger to the semi-finals for the 2nd consecutive time. Now, despite the strong start, they broke the deadlock only in the 37th minute through Kanu's close-range efforts. The second half saw heightened attack efforts from USM Alger, though played predominantly centered in midfield. Now, despite Rivers United's near equalizer, USF Alger sealed the win with Kadu's second goal right there in the 74th minute. Now, joining us to discuss or to review the game played right there in Algiers, Algeria, is a veteran journalist and manager, progress manager, of course, for Wazobia FM, Port-Harcourt, Nigeria. China Acheru joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Favour. Good to be on your show.
All right, a disappointing night for the Pride of Rivers as they failed to progress for what we saw. It wasn't a game Rivers United should lose when you look at how they played initially the first half. I mean, what do you think went wrong? Was it a case of them being timid or intimidated by the fans, or do you think something actually did not go down well for them on the night?
Nigerian clubs have always been intimidated by North African sides, always been. You see Rivers United go away to North Africa and lose a couple of times. Yeah, we have also seen some Nigerian clubs win, like Delta Insurance, who qualified in North Africa. We have seen Dolphins win a few times before, but there's this phobia Nigerian clubs have of the North Africans, especially when the home leg is in Nigeria. For Rivers United, they got a slim 1-0 win in the first leg in New York. Maybe they should have scored more goals. They had the Algerians right there for the taking, but they couldn't score more goals. Then going to the second leg in Algeria, I think the Algerians unsettled them. The first was the issue of the VAR that wasn't going to work. Now the question now would be, was there anything that happened on that pitch that aided the Algerians because the VAR was not working? I saw the Rivers United media officers' match report, and it showed no such thing. But I think that having that announcement come so close to the game, it goes away to unsettle the away side. Now, but how the Rivers United managed that situation was a protest to CAF. They asked the day for the game to be moved by 24 hours. What did they do about it? So I think the Algerians unsettled them by that announcement. But having said that, Nigerian players always have that phobia of North Africa. The game was played at night. We hear the weather is very cold at night. I've been to North Africa a lot of times, and I know how cold it can be at night. In the home leg in Uyo, Rivers United tried to play the game at 2 p.m. Unfortunately for them, it rained on the day. So it didn't turn out to be as cold as they would have wanted it to be. So here and there, I think if they had scored more goals in the first leg, then they wouldn't have had this, probably Algeria would have needed more than 2 goals to qualify. So Rivers United said they are lost from the first leg in Rio.
All right. One thing you made mention of during the course of the discourse, you said, VAR was supposed to be used. Yes, VAR was supposed to be used as is mandated by CAF, but it wasn't. Now, a statement from CAF reads, and I quote, "For the last few days, CAF has been negotiating, of course, to ensure that VAR was used. But according to CAF, VAR equipment has been kept by the authorities at the entry port in Oran, Algeria, since Wednesday morning. And regrettably, the VAR equipment was only released at 7:30 today. That's on Sunday, the day of the match, making it impossible to drive the 400-kilometer distance between Oran and Algiers and make it on time for the match." Now, there are 2 questions in my mind, in my head. Should the game have allowed to be continued, knowing fully well that it was a prerequisite, was mandatory for VAR to be used in that game? And there's this talks about whenever it comes to North Africans, CAF are always lenient, or most of the times just bring out the fines and nothing else on these North African clubs. So do you think the game should have been allowed to continue?
Maybe, maybe not. But the better question now is, what did Rivers United do when they got that information? They just say, okay, we go play. It's not our portion in Jesus' name. Waiting go be, go be. What did they write a strongly worded protest to CAF? Did they demand for the game to be moved by 24 hours? We don't have that information. But the better question should be, what did they do about it? I agree. If CAF has said from a certain stage of the competition, VAR must be used, and the machine was used in Uyo for the first leg, then people should be asking, how come it was not used in the second leg? Now, whether it was to the advantage or not, it should have been used. What did Rivers United do? We need to hear from the media office to know what they did that allowed that game to be played without VAR use. Favour.
All right. also to still add or to ask again, I mean, every now and then it seems that the North Africans, whatever antics or tactics they bring into to play other teams in Africa, it seems to be working for them. But it seems every time it happens, the Nigerian club sides fail to realize or fail to learn from these issues. Sometimes we get to see how, during the COVID-19 era, we saw how most of the times, most of the players from Nigeria, some of them, their key players will test positive to COVID-19. After the COVID-19 era, we've gotten other avenues which these North African club sides use. How do Nigerian club sides, or how would they break, away from these barriers or the things that have been meted out to them? And what do you think they should do differently going into next or different competitions in the next few months?
I think Nigerian clubs are doing their bit. They have their own underhand things they do to upset clubs that come to play with them in Nigeria. A lot of things I won't be able to see on TV here. But Nigerian clubs, they know what they do. They do their bit. But having done your bit, you must be ready tactically. Now, how ready was Rivers United tactically in the first leg in Rio? How ready were they tactically in the second leg in Algiers? Because you involve yourself in all these shenanigans. It's okay to do that if it works for you and if CAF allows it to happen. But having done that, how ready are you on the pitch? How does your team play? What is their shape? How do they transition from defense to attack? How do they defend the leads? How do they ensure they don't concede more goals? How do they frustrate the opposing team right there on the pitch? Our coach is able to do all of this. Can our clubs do all of this? Because it's more than just not having the VAR work. Okay, for the Rivers United in the first leg, they applied to CAF to have their game played at 2 p.m. because they felt the temperature was at a certain level. So at the moment it started raining, what happened? So you must be ready for every situation. But I don't think our clubs are really ready for that. It takes more than just that. Do they practice this shenanigans? Yes, they do. To what level is a different matter entirely? Yes, they do. But as a football club, the first thing a football club means is that you have players are ready to play football. Are they ready to play football as a football club? That I don't see happening yet. We are not up to the level of North Africans. The earlier we accept this, the better for us. It will reduce our blood pressure. We are not up to that level yet. So we should strive to get to that level in terms of player purchases, in terms of coaching, in terms of tactics, in terms of awareness, in terms of management, in terms of everything that a football club should do. We need to get to that level or close to the level. We are nowhere close to that level. So we'll continue to fall to them, no matter what we do.
All right, before we let you go, I mean, we've talked about how we are not even up to the level of the North African teams, what they've been able to achieve over years. For Rivers United, they happen to be, at the moment, the only team in Nigeria that has even gotten to this stage back-to-back. How would you rate their performance this season when it comes to continental football? And in the next future, do you think that we'll have a team come up to take Africa by storm, aside what we've seen in the past from AIBA International?
Rivers have done well in terms of results, right? In terms of performance, it's different entirely, but in terms of they've got the results. They've been at this stage twice now in quick succession. So in terms of results, they've done well. Now, asking if we will have another club that can do this, because Rivers United, they are lowly placed on the table, 6 games in hand. I don't see them finishing top 3. The only way back to the continent is the Federation Cup. If they can win the Federation Cup, that's the only way back to the continent. Now, we have seen Remo Stars try to look at the continent twice. They just need to be more consistent. They have very good organization. So if Remo gets a third chance on the continent, who knows? They might just do better than they've done in the previous seasons. AIMA can still do that if they're back on the continent. Rangers have been away for a long time. I don't know how ready they are for the continent. But maybe I'm looking at Remo Stars. To an extent, Lobby Stars need to get to the continent. Lobby Stars, their new chairman, Dominic Yofa, he has been there, he has seen it all, he has done it all. And the last time in Nigeria club was in the group stage of the CAF Champions League was Lobby Stars. So the club have that foundation. Apart from these ones, I think any other club that manages to get to the continent will just struggle. Because playing on the continent is it's not just about getting the team together to play. There's a whole lot involved. from the government angle, the sponsorship, to the management angle, to the coaching, to the players, to even the supporters of the club, the media angle. It's a whole, it's a whole thing there. So we are our clubs. We are not just ready. We are going to get there. Like I said, I like what Remo Stars are doing. If they can keep at it, I like what Remo Stars are doing. I like what Rangers are doing too. They can keep at it. I also like what Lobby Stars are doing. But we need to do better, and we'll get there surely. Slowly but surely, we'll get there.
All right, slowly but surely we will get there. Thank you very much, China Acheru, for your quality time. We can only hope for the best when it comes to Nigerian football. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is my favor.
All right, that was China Acheru talking about what we need to do as Nigerian clubs to be able to dominate Africa. Don't forget, Rivers United were bundled out of the CAF Confederations Cup. No thanks to the 2 goals they conceded right there in Algiers, Algeria. Still talking the CAF Confederations Cup in Ghana, fellow West African country, it was Dreams FC who ensured that their dreams were kept alive, going past the Stade Malien. Yes, he ended the 1-1 draw, but of course they won. They progressed 3-2 on aggregate.
Again with an eye for goal. Corner in. It's spilt. Is it going to break here for Dreams? Simba! Is it over the line? It is now! Well, they celebrate. Do they dare? Will it be ruled out? I don't think it will. They're back on level terms on the day. They're back ahead on aggregates. A little more breathing room now. All right, it was Simba with the initial strike. They're celebrating with him. Will it be his goal? It was spilt by Traore. Simba with a brilliant first touch, hammering it home. Oh, to see from there. Either way, he definitely crossed the line. No question of offside. Player on the line. I think another. Certainly keeping Berting Mensah, I think it was, on the follow-up. Onside, it's definitely a goal. And I think the players are right that it crossed the line initially anyway, and it will be.
All right, Dreams FC, the first time they're getting to the semi-finals of the CAF Confederations Cup. The name itself is really working for them, Dreams FC. But with the Dreams talk to reality, will they win the CAF Confederations Cup? Only time will tell. They have Zamalek to play next in the semi-finals. Let's quickly go straight to the results from games played on Sunday from the CAF Confederations Cup. Dreams FC played out a 1-1 draw against Stade Malien, but they qualified 3-2 on aggregate. Zamalek, of course, interestingly, they played a 1-1 draw against Modern Future of Egypt. They qualified 3-2 on aggregate. So Zamalek against Dreams FC. USM Alger won against Rivers United on aggregate. It was 2-1. They finished. USM Algiers would set up the meeting against RS Berkane of Morocco. And that will be an interesting derby right there. 3-2 finish against Abu Salim. That's how it wrapped up in the CAF Confederations Cup. Let's quickly take a look at the semi-finalists again, just to let you know which teams have progressed to the semi-finals of the CAF Confederations Cup. USM Algiers defending champion against RS Berkane, who was, of course, won the CAF Confederations Cup right here at Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. And we'll get to see Zamalek take on Dreams FC. That's interesting fixtures right there. Will USM Algiers win it again, or will RS Berkane, win a trophy, a second trophy in the space of 3 years? Only time will tell. All right, back home to Nigeria. It was a festival of goals right there at the Eyiba Stadium in Aba as Heartland FC took Sporting Lagos to the cleaners. 3-1 to finish on the day. All right, a beautiful goal scored right there. The first highlight you saw was the game involving Heartland and Sporting Lagos, and then move on to Ilori, Kwara State, where Kwara United were held by Bendel Insurance to a 1-1 draw. Let's take a look at the results from Sunday fixtures. Katsina United, a 7-goal thriller against Enugu Rangers. By the way, it was Enugu Rangers' first loss in 10 games. And that's 4-3, no thanks to Michael Ibe, who scored 2 goals in that particular game. Niger Tornadoes trashed Gobe United and left them to pick up the pieces. 5-0 in the finish right there. Lobby Stars, a narrow win against Eyiba International, a game that, of course, ensured that Lobby Stars go joint top with Enugu Rangers. Kwara United were held 1-1 at home to Better Insurance. Heartland FC won against Sporting Lagos 3-1. Sunshine Stars were held by Bayelsa United in Akure 1-1 in finish right there. Right now to today's fixture, we get to see Kano Pillars, the same Besugida boys, take on Shooting Stars Football Club. All right. Let's quickly take a look at the table and how the teams are placed at the moment. In top position, we have Enugu Rangers, 51 points, but a better goal difference when you look at Lobby Stars, who are second with same number of points, 51. Rebel Stars are third with 49 points, 9 goal plus 9 in terms of the goal difference. Eyiba Football Club, courtesy of that loss, they are now fourth on the log with 48 points. All right, Rebel Stars have an outstanding, by the way, with 28 games played compared to 29 games by other teams. Plateau United 5th with 47 points. Katsina United 6th with 44 points. Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan, they play against Kano Pillars today. They are currently 7th. Kano Pillars, should they get a win against Shooting Stars, they can't go straight to 44 points. That means, of course, they might be able to score plenty goals to be able to displace Katsina United from that position. Rock bottom, Aqua United 18th on the log with 31 points. Heartland 19th on the log. Despite the win, they still remain 19th, 26 points. And Gobe United looking like they'll live life in the second division next season, 22 points. Away from the NPFL, we go straight to South Africa. The South Africa Premier League also had some games and, of course, interesting results from the Cape Town City. They lost at home to Amazulu, 1-0. And Royal AM won against Polokwane City, 3-2. Away from there to the Egyptian Premier League, we'll get to see a fixture today. Al Ahly of Egypt will take on NP. Don't forget, Al Ahly they currently have backlog of games due to their involvement in the CAF Champions League. So they'll take on NP later tonight. Morocco Cup, we have some results for you. Shabab Mohamedia lost against Raja Casablanca, 1-0. And Mat Tetouan won against the CRS Salbi, 2-1. All right, still talking football, but we have to now go straight to the women's category, where the Super Falcons of Nigeria, of course, we know they've arrived already in South Africa ahead of the game on Tuesday. But the Minister of Sports, John Owaino, has been talking and charging the ladies to go make the nation proud. I mean, he has been saying a lot. He also said that the Nigerian side should break the 16-year Olympic absence in women football. Let's get to hear what he has to say concerning the charge to the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
Just go with that singular commitment. I saw you play on Friday, and I believe undoubtedly that you will win. I believe that you will emerge as you go for this match. So it's to bid you farewell and to let you appreciate the enormity of the responsibility that you carry on your heads. As young as you all are, you are the threshold of history that the whole country is just waiting. The whole country will be watching and will be clapping that you make Nigeria proud. Let's beat the South Africans. Let's qualify and then challenge government and challenge me. And you can be sure that things won't be the same again. And there are too many things the ministry is putting together for all categories of our athletes.
And displayed confidence from the beginning of the match. I thought we were composed. I thought we controlled the match. I would guess the possession was probably 60-40. We minimized their opportunities. I think they only had two chances in the match. Scoring a couple of goals, we still have to play the second leg. And South Africa are capable of scoring multiple goals as well. So we'd still have to go with the same mindset to go get a result. was a player I've always liked. You know, we've had her in camp before, and she had picked up an injury that we thought really was going to be a career-ending injury. So she hasn't been in with us through the World Cup. Luckily, she's gotten healthy and back in Japan and playing very well in a really good league. So it was great to get her back. And considering we really didn't have much preparation and just putting her in with that group, she did extremely well defensively. I thought all the backs were outstanding considering we didn't have Ashley and DeMay in the team due to injury.
Round the wardrobe there, talking about how much of importance Chidima Okeke has been to the team, coming back into the team after a long time, and also looking at the game ahead on Tuesday against the Bayana of South Africa. While Nigeria is also preparing Zambia women, the Shipolopolo of Zambia, they're looking forward to get back to winning ways after losing their first game against Morocco right there in Zambia. So they'll be going there currently in Rabat, Morocco, training, and during the training session, the defender Esther Sibafuko, she's talking tough ahead of this game, and she's optimistic that the Zambian women will qualify to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
The training was awesome. We enjoyed every bit of it, and it was great. The first game, and just from this training that we had, it was fantastic, and at least we're getting to know each other. No, so far so good. We've buried the past, and we can't stay in the past, so we need to move on. And this is an important match that we have. We just need to pick ourselves up and move forward.
All right, yes, she is optimistic, but they know that they have to at least get a goal and think of maybe taking it off from there. Don't forget, when it comes to the qualifiers, there are no away goal rule. So if Nigeria should get to score one more goal away from home, it's 2-0, and not having the other team to score more than one goal to be able to tie the game. So interested and all to play for come Tuesday. We go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking football on the foreign scene. Welcome back. You're still watching in the game, and Favour Itua. Let's now take it straight to Europe, and precisely England, where Liverpool and Manchester United went into a tussle, but of course it was a draw as Liverpool squandered the opportunity to return to the top of the Premier League as they were held to a draw in another.
That's the ball for Robertson, and arriving at pace was Dominic. Quicker than anybody for Manchester United. Rashford. Oh, Kelleher with a top stop. Mainu, oh, what a goal! Kwanzaa, touch for Elliott, Salah, Elliott. Oh, that's a challenge by Wan-Bissaka, and it's a Liverpool penalty. Brilliant from Harvey. Elliott thinks about throwing it up into the penalty area, and does. Back across goal, Luis Diaz! What a chance.
If you have that much of a dominance in long parts of the game, you should win the game. Yeah, that's true. But you all are long enough in football that doesn't mean you will win. That just means you should, and that's obviously different. It's very often to the final scoreline. 2-2. I'm not over the moon about it. I don't think that's the best result I've ever seen, but I'm fine. And
that we, in decisive moments, first half, we lost the duels and our indecision making. In the half spaces, we were not quick enough thinking. And well, we encouraged the team in the halftime that you have to win those duels because it will be decisive. The moment you win those duels, especially if you can then make a change to the far side half space, and then you have greater overload on the backline, and you will create. And first half already was this the case, so we didn't take advantage from it. But second half we did, and yeah, we needed a moment in the game and to punish a mistake of Liverpool, but that got us back in the game.
All right, lots of talks from the coaches in this part of the world. In Nigeria, we call it shalaye, lamentations, explanation, and some would say the coaches would explain more and more. As you can explain, Taya. Anyways, still talking the Premier League. Let's let you know that only Big Body's stoppage time equalizer was enough to give Sheffield United a point against Chelsea at Bramall Lane.
Go Silva on a landmark appearance an opening goal. McBurney. Palmer. Oh, what a clever ball that is for Bogle. 1-1. Tight angled finish. Again, Chelsea let a lead slip. That is all about the quality of the pass, though. It's a hell of a ball from Harmer. Hold on to it. Cracking finish. Noni Madueke gets... Here's McAtee. Our blaster. Enzo Fernandez got a piece of it.
All right, now let's go straight to other results from the Premier League. Interesting games played. Manchester United 2-2 draw against Liverpool. Sheffield United 2, Chelsea 2. Tottenham Hotspur had to survive a scare to win Nottingham Forest 3 goals to 1. Away from there now to an interesting one, of course, in the Italian Serie A, where Victor Osimhen had to finally stop that 5-game goal drought to a... All right, of course, interesting goal scored by players of Napoli. Victor Osimhen had to jump so high, as some would say his jump power should measure amongst the highest when it comes to footballers in the world at the moment. Let's now go straight to the results from the Italian Serie A, where we had a series of games played. Frosinone played out the goalless draw against Bologna, but lost at home to Napoli 4 goals to 2. Verona lost at home 1-2 to Genoa. Cagliari better off Atalanta 2 goals to 1. And Juventus won against Fiorentina 1 goal to 0. Later today, we get to see Udinese against Internazionale. That's, of course, Inter Milan. Straight to the German Bundesliga. Hoffenheim were better off Augsburg 3 goals to 1. And Wolfsburg lost at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach 1 goal to 3. Straight down to the world of basketball in the United States of America. Talking about the NBA, where, of course, Bronson scores 43. As, of course, the New York Knicks rally in the second half, of course, to beat.
It doesn't always have to be good and, be smooth and win the whole games and 6 in a row and 5 in a row, whatever the case might be. Sometimes you gotta be here. So when you face adversity like this and moving forward in the playoffs, so in your life you kind of know what to expect and you do the same thing. If you're a worker, you go back to what you know best, which is you work harder. If you're not a worker, you're probably going to be in this loop for a while.
All right, interesting one from the young man right there. Let's quickly go straight to the results from the NBA. Played last night and early hours of this morning. New York Knicks were better off Milwaukee Bucks, 122 to 109 points. Philadelphia 76ers won against San Antonio Spurs, 133 to 126 points. Sacramento Kings defeated Brooklyn Nets, 107 to 77 points. Golden State Warriors defeated Utah Jazz, 118 to 110 points. And Minnesota Timberwolves defeated LA Lakers 127 to 117 points. Sports, of course, is one thing that is enjoyable, either, of course, actively participating in it or talking about it. Of course, you viewers, I know you've had an amazing time on the show today, being the Monday. You can join us same time tomorrow for another spectacular edition of In the Game. And Favour, Itua, thank you very much for watching. You have a lovely day.